In my last episode, I delved into the methodology behind crafting consistently superior custard by exploring into various scientific facades. Today, let's get down to the real business, transforming this custard into cheese. I'll also show you how to apply the cheese into dishes, including a ginger cheesecake. We've established Yoplait 5.0 is my go-to milk for making this custard, so I'll use it here once again, measuring out 450 grams. Next, weigh 45 grams of goat milk powder. Feel free to choose cow milk powder or omit any powder altogether. I'll explain why in the subsequent steps. Then 2 grams or a quarter teaspoon of fine sea salt. And lastly, little yellow ginger. Its inclusion here is pivotal to prevent any further bitterness. For those of you who tend to cut the ginger juice in this custard due to its tangy kick, resist the urge to do so. You need plenty of ginger juice to coagulate as much milk protein as you can. If you intend to grate a substantial quantity of ginger, remember to wear a glove, otherwise your hands will experience a rather uncomfortable burning sensation. Over the stove to the milk, add salt and goat milk powder all at once. Goat milk powder tends to form lumps more readily than cow milk powder, so it requires a bit more patience as you start to dissolve it into the milk. After that, insert a thermometer into the milk. Stir occasionally. When the temperature reaches about 60 degrees Celsius, pour boiling water into the custard bowl and start counting for 15 seconds. Then drain and dry it with a paper towel. This action elevates the bowl's temperature to roughly 60 degrees Celsius. Now weigh out 45 grams of ginger juice. Make sure you thoroughly mix up juice if it was extracted earlier. At this point, the milk's temperature might register 70 degrees. Take it off the heat and pour it into the bowl, allowing it to collide with the ginger juice. That's probably how the custard got its name. Leave the bowl undisturbed for 10 to 20 minutes, but I usually wait till it becomes lukewarm. This curd is very thick, and this is what we're aiming for. Over a deep bowl, place a strainer followed by a piece of cloth strainer. Feel free to use a cheesecloth. Spoon the custard into the strainer and remember to break the large curd slightly. Then lift the corners of the cloth and cover the top. Leave it on the counter to separate away for 3 to 5 hours. This is 4 hours later. A decent amount of whey has been collected in the bowl. If you're happy with the texture at this point, you can just dig in as is, but I prefer straining it further in a refrigerator. Before popping it in there, I transfer the curd into mold. I've got this handy bowl container that comes with its very own built-in strainer and leaves just the right amount of space at the bottom. Transfer the curd to the strainer bowl, then grab a spoon and gently press it down, smoothing out the top. Pop on the lid and slide it into the fridge. This is 19 hours later. There is an extra 3 to 4 tablespoons whey that has been strained out. Plop a plate over top, reverse, gently tap it a few times, and the cheese will break free from its mold. The sweet spot for the weight of cheese is 250 to 260 grams, not too tender or too dense. Its texture is somewhat like ricotta as a steamed soft cheese. For the testing, I've played with skim cow milk powder, full-fat cow milk powder, even no milk powder, and a version made with low-fat fresh milk brand. Why I recommend goat milk powder is not only because the taste is creamiest, but the ginger punch is not overwhelming. I can devour this cheese like it's nobody's business. And the best part is versatile in all the dishes I'm about to unleash. You may use it as bread on crackers, drizzle some lemon juice, and grate some lemon zest on it. It'll be a perfect snack. Or toss on some other delightful toppings that will turn into fancy canopies. You may add it to bread's filling for an instant upgrade, or toss it into any salad that screams for some gingery and cheesy kick. Ever thought of transforming it into meatballs? Take about 4 tablespoons of this gingery goodness for every 320 grams of the ground meat, about 12 ounces. Sizzle the meatballs in hot oil, add some red wine, reduce, then add some ginger cheese whey. Toss in your favorite dried herbs, pop open a can of tomatoes, and mix everything up. Now throw in some raw rice and cook it up just like regular rice. Ta-da! What you've got here is one-of-a-kind meatball rice extravaganza. Got a sweet tooth? Here is a cheesecake. Weigh out 250 grams of ginger cheese, along with 7 grams of softened butter. Use a hand beater to whip it till creamy, about 4 minutes. Now over the stove, add 45 grams dark brown sugar, along with 1 tablespoon of the ginger cheese whey. Keep the heat low, stir gently, and break the sugar granules till they're just melted. No boiling is needed. Drizzle the syrup into the cheese mixture with hand beater running. Crack in 1 small egg and beat till well mixed. Then add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, 1/4 teaspoon of cloves powder, and a pinch of nutmeg. And blend well. Lastly, grate in 1 lemon zest. Mix well, and that's it. Evenly divide the batter into 2 greased 4-inch cake pans and bake in the preheated oven at 165 degrees Celsius or 329 degrees Fahrenheit for 28-32 minutes. You could dive in while it's warm, but I usually chill it in the fridge for at least 4 hours. This cake is a fusion of ginger cheesecake and ricotta cheesecake, and it reminds me of Christmas already. Regarding the remaining ginger cheese whey, you can cook up grains like rice or couscous with it. It might carry a subtle sweetness, so if you want, you can swap out some of the whey for water. And there you have it, your guide to crafting Chinese ginger cheese. Give it a shot and make sure to share your inventive ways of enjoying it. Bon appetit!